All right, folks, we've got about 5 minutes before game time. Nobody's on the ice yet. We've got Stillwater versus St. Paul Blue coming up at 6 o'clock p.m.
Mike is such a dick. She's running up here and I'm in the scoreboard. I'm supposed to be watching it. Like, give him a little stick. You're probably sitting at the bench. You're the other one. That's a good literally that's for me.
So are you guys staying at the hotel as the team? The country retreat? Well, that'll be fun.
How's this thing working out for you? Good?
Yeah. I guess I haven't. I've started to do more play-by-plays, so I'll probably I haven't listened to myself after starting it, but I've gotten a couple comments that people like it. Well, I think it is really hard to see, especially this range. You can't see anything.
I have clothes. All right.
Right.
Granddaughter, she does soccer. They try to do that. It's not going to
I mean, this one, it's kind of hit or miss. Like, when they move from one end to the other really fast, I do a little bit with the remote, so I kind of help that out.
I really appreciate it when, you can't be there and watch it.
Well, and you could watch it after the fact, too. Yeah. So who's on your basketball team? Perfect. All right, here we go. We've got refs, and here comes St. Paul Blue on the ice for warm-ups. Stillwater must still be in the locker room. I'm not seeing any players come out yet. All right, here comes Stillwater. We've got Stillwater versus St. Paul Blue tonight, starting in about 5 minutes. We've got warm-ups going on right now. All right, folks, we've got Stillwater versus St. Paul Blue. Coming to you live from the St. Croix Valley Rec Center, North Rink. Again, we've got the high vantage point, so it'll be hard to see plays along the near boards here. Starting lineup, looks like we've got Dylan Johnson, Braden Smith, Louis Junker, Arlo Sonic, and Keegan Smith. Louis Junker tripped up along the side of the boards, brings it into the zone, takes a shot. Glove down by the goalie. We'll have a face-off. Keegan Smith on the forecheck in the corner, centering pass to Arlo. Backhand shot is blocked. Arlo Sonic battling in the corner. Braden Smith pinches. Sorry, Keegan Smith pinches. St. Paul clears the puck. Dylan Johnson back in the corner. Jacob Kep has it in center ice, loses control. St. Paul sends it into the zone. Declan O'Shea has the puck, passes it up to Gus Bonin. Austin Cash Junker with the puck now at center ice. He'll dump it in. Cash Junker on the forecheck. Back to the point. Declan O'Shea sends it back around behind the net. Gus Bonin and Cash. Austin Voxlin holds it in. St. Paul clears the zone. Has a shot from the angle. Cleared. Gus Bonin skates it into the zone. He gets bumped off the puck behind the net. Weston Linnell on the forecheck. Dylan Johnson able to hold it in. Gus Bonin with the puck. He'll take a shot. That goes wide. And St. Paul's able to clear the zone. St. Paul dumps it in. Dylan Johnson passes it up to Parker Taylor. Parker will dump it in. Koffenberg with the puck at the point. Attempted shot is blocked by St. Paul. Weston Linnell with the puck at center ice. Skates it into the zone. Centering pass for Sirianni. His shot goes wide. Sirianni on the forecheck. Trying to hold his own. St. Paul's able to clear. Koffenberg back to retrieve the puck. Stillwater clears the zone. Battle along the near boards here. St. Paul dumps it in behind our net. O'Shea back to retrieve the puck. Sonic with the puck. He gets tripped up. And we've got a whistle. Not entirely sure what the whistle is. I think maybe the puck went into the Stillwater bench. So we'll have a face-off in the Stillwater defensive zone. Puck's rung around the boards. Braden Smith carries it out of the zone through neutral zone. Makes a move, takes a shot, rebound. St. Paul's able to cover the rebound. Behind the net, we've got Keegan Smith on the forecheck in the corner. Sonic to help out. Braden Smith pinches, holds it in. Still battling along the near boards. St. Paul sends it behind their own net to the other corner. Louis Junker sends it behind the net. Ooh, Keegan Smith with a centering pass goes through the slot. Braden Smith able to hold the zone. He's in the corner now on the forecheck. Braden Smith with the puck behind the net. He tries a wraparound shot that gets stopped. Braden Smith still with the puck. He's trying to dump it down. St. Paul's able to clear the zone. Coming back 2-on-1. St. Paul dumps it into the corner. Austin Boxland chips it into the corner. Up to Louis Junker. St. Paul holds it in. Stillwater on a line change. St. Paul passes it up. Shot is stopped. And Dylan Johnson. All right, Koffenberg with the puck now in the near corner. Passes it up to Cash Junker. He'll clear the zone. All the way down for an icing. 6:35 left in the first period. Score 0-0. Cash Junker skates it out of the zone through center ice. He takes a shot, that's stopped. Still has the puck behind the net. Kep has it, back to the D. Dylan Johnson takes a shot from the point. Looks like it was deflected, but that goes into the corner. Back to the point again. Dylan Johnson with a slap shot that goes off the shin pad. Koffenberg's able to hold the zone. He'll dump it behind the net for Bonin. Bonin with a centering pass to Kep, who buries that one to take the lead. 1-0. Gus Bonin to Kep for a goal with 5:59 remaining in the first period. Stillwater takes the lead, 1-0. Braden Smith with the puck off the faceoff. He dumps it in. Parker Taylor on the forecheck. Sirianni also. Sirianni behind the net. Stillwater's able to hold the zone. Centering pass for Parker Taylor. Couldn't quite get a hold of it. St. Paul clears to Declan O'Shea. Declan O'Shea passes it up to Parker Taylor, who sends it into the zone all the way around. Wesson Linnell and Ty Sirianni on the forecheck. Sirianni still battling for the puck. Comes back to the point. Braden Smith makes a move, skates it in, gets the puck knocked off his stick into the corner. He's battling for it in the corner. Wesson Linnell helping out. Centering pass. Nobody out front though. Parker Taylor. Declan O'Shea pinches, holds the zone. And the puck is cleared. Parker Taylor battling for it at center ice. He dumps it in. Stillwater needs a line change. But Austin Boxland comes up to challenge. Austin Boxland's got the puck. He skates it up through neutral zone. And he'll take a long shot. That is blocked into the corner. St. Paul clears. Dylan Johnson to retrieve the puck in the corner. He passes it up to Attempted pass to Keegan Smith, misses his stick, and this will be an icing for Stillwater. 4:06 remains in the first period. Stillwater's up 1-0. St. Paul with a shot from the point when tipped, but Logan's in net. He's able to stop that. We've got Sonic retrieves the puck from the corner and passes it up to Louis Junker out of the zone. Louis Junker on the forecheck. Arlo Sonic was trailing, but the puck just came out of the zone there, so we'll have an offsides on Stillwater. Stillwater wins the faceoff, and Dylan Johnson dumps it in. Keegan Smith on the forecheck. Foxland attempted to dump it down low, but intercepted by St. Paul. They skated into the zone. Dylan Johnson able to clear the zone. He's skating it up the ice into the zone. Forechecking in the corner. He goes down. Sonic goes in to help. Over to Sonic. He takes a shot that goes wide. Louis Junker behind the net. St. Paul clears. Braden Smith gets it out of the zone. Up to Keegan Smith. He's forechecking. Koffenberg on the near boards. Battling. Stillwater dumps it in. Braden Smith with a long shot from the point is covered. 2:33 left in the first period. Stillwater leads 1-0. Shots on goal are 9 for Stillwater, 2 for St. Paul. Kep wins the faceoff back to Braden Smith. He takes a shot that's stopped by St. Paul defenseman. In front of the net, we've got Gus Bonin with a turnaround shot. That is saved. That was a good scoring chance there. Cash Junker with a deflected pass over to Gus Bonin, who had a scoring chance. Gus Bonin has got the puck, skates towards the net. His shot's deflected behind. St. Paul's able to clear the zone. Braden Smith intercepts the pass. He skates it up into the zone. He takes a shot that's stopped. St. Paul skating it up. Cash Junker kept with battling for it. Gus Bonin not quite able to clear it. Koffenberg. Cash Junker clears the puck. No icing. Koffenberg pinches, but St. Paul's able to clear the zone. Neutral zone. Bonin skates it into the offensive zone now. He's got some help. He makes a move, and a nice backhand shot for a goal. Gus Bonin weaves around the defense and scores a backhand goal to make it 2-0. .114 left in the first period. Declan O'Shea with the puck at neutral zone. St. Paul skating it into the Stillwater defensive zone. Shot is tipped. The net. St. Paul with a scoring chance there with a centering pass. Logan made the initial save. The rebound was open. Logan slid across the crease and kicked the net off of its posts in the process, so we have a whistle because the net was off. Ty Sirianni with the puck. His pass is deflected. Ty Sirianni with the puck. He sends it into the offensive zone, but one of the Stillwater players was still in the offensive zone, so we'll have an offsides call. 36 seconds left in the first period. Back to Austin Voxlin. He'll pass it up to Parker Taylor. He'll skate it in. Takes a shot that is gloved and covered. 27 seconds left in the first period. Ty Sirianni had the puck in his skates. Braden Smith able to hold the zone. Sirianni battling for the puck. He's trying to send it down deep. 13 seconds left. Parker Taylor over to the sideboard to retrieve the puck. He'll send it down deep. St. Paul has it. Weston Linnell over to forecheck. Back to Dylan Johnson. His shot's deflected up and over the net. And that's the end of the first period. Stillwater leads 2-0. Shots on goal are 13 for Stillwater, 5 for St. Paul Blue.
Expects me to know all this.
All right, starting the second period, we've got Braden Smith, Dylan Johnson, Keegan Smith, Louis Junker, and Arlo Sonic. We have offsides on Stillwater. Braden Smith sends it into the zone, intercepted. Dylan Johnson with the puck, passes it up to Louis Junker. He'll skate it into the zone. Louis Junker with a shot, hits the St. Paul defenseman. Dylan Johnson's able to hold it in. He sends it back down deep. Louis Junker on the forecheck. Back to Dylan Johnson, and back to Louis Junker in the corner. St. Paul's able to clear the zone. St. Paul's able to score in the upper left corner. It sounded like it almost hit the end of Logan's stick and maybe bounced in, but needless to say, St. Paul is on the board. Stillwater still leads 2-1. 11:08 left in the second period. Kep wins the faceoff. Cash Junker with it along the near boards. He'll skate it towards the net. Gets it knocked off his stick. He still has it in the corner. Cash Junker working in the corner with Bonin. Austin Voxlin holds his own, sends a shot in on net. That goes into the corner. Kep tries to center it. Over to Cash Junker now with the puck. He'll skate it down below the circle into the behind the net. Has it knocked off his stick. Cash Junker with the puck still. St. Paul sends it around to the near boards. Gus Bonin's able to hold his own, but is knocked off the puck. St. Paul sends it down the ice for an icing call. You want to do the remote? Ty Sirianni on the forecheck behind the net. His centering pass, nobody quite home. Weston Linnell with the puck. Tangled up a little bit, battling along the near boards. Declan O'Shea holds it in. His shot is intercepted. St. Paul clears. Weston Linnell with the puck. He will attempts to clear the zone. It's cleared now. Parker Taylor skating it up along the near boards into the zone. His shot is deflected by the defenseman. Parker Taylor in the corner. Still battling for it in the corner. He'll send it around the net, behind the net. Sirianni along the far boards. Braden Smith holds it in. He'll fire it on net. Deflected into the corner. O'Shea holds his own. Weston Linnell's shot is intercepted. St. Paul brings it out. Sirianni with the puck. Clears the zone now. We've got Braden Smith skating it up into the zone along the near boards. Braden Smith battling for the puck with Parker Taylor. Ty Sirianni and Weston Linnell on the far side. St. Paul clears. And this could be an icing if it makes it, just barely. That was a close one, but it was called icing. 8:26 left in the second period. Stillwater leads 2-1. St. Paul wins the face-off. Back to the point. Shot. Sonic with the puck in the slot. Gets knocked off his stick. Sonic battling and Louis Junker on the near board. Louis Junker with a shot that's gloved down. We'll have another face-off in the offensive zone. Stillwater wins the face-off. Dylan Johnson with the slap shot that is deflected. Voxlin with a shot. Louis Junker had a wide open net, just missed it on the near side. Good scoring chance for Stillwater. Stillwater holds his own. Louis Junker battling, trying to get it down deep. Sonic. St. Paul's able to clear the zone. They'll send it in for an icing call. Good scoring chance there for Stillwater. St. Paul skates it out of the zone. Braden Smith skates it in. He takes a shot. Deflected into the corner. Cash Junker on the forecheck. Puck clears. St. Paul dumps it in. Koffenberg to retrieve the puck behind the net. He'll send it up to Bonin on the near boards. Couldn't quite clear the zone though. St. Paul dumps it back in. Koffenberg up the boards again. Braden Smith skating it up through center ice. Over to Bonin. Bonin will skate it in. We've got an offsides call here. That was a close one, folks. We'll have to look at the instant replay. But face off back to Koffenberg. He'll send it in. St. Paul clears the zone. Koffenberg back to retrieve the puck again. His pass intercepted by St. Paul. Braden Smith with the puck, skating it up through center ice. His shot on net's saved. Braden Smith behind the net. Shot from a wide angle is gloved down and covered. 6:14 remains in the second period. Stillwater leads 2-1. Stillwater wins the faceoff over to Sirianni. His quick shot is wide. St. Paul clears the zone. Dylan Johnson sends it right back in. Parker Taylor on the forecheck. St. Paul skates it out into the Stillwater zone. Wide angle shots saved by Logan. Declan O'Shea trying to clear it. A shot is glove saved by Logan and will cover. Koffenberg with the puck in the corner, takes it around the net. His centering pass, breakout pass, is intercepted. Austin Voxlin, and now Sonic with, let's see here. Koffenberg sends it around the boards to Louis Junker. He clears the zone, he skates it up on the near boards. He brings it in, a long shot is gloved down. .5:11 left in the second period. Arlo Sonic battling for the puck on the near boards, intercepted by St. Paul. They'll skate it out. Koffenberg with the centering pass by St. Paul. And a shot deflected, another shot saved by Logan. Koffenberg battling for it in the corner. Sonic back to help. And Voxlin. Puck comes around to the near boards. We've got Keegan Smith skating it out of the zone. Sorry, not Keegan Smith, Louis Junker. St. Paul's able to send it back in. Koffenberg in the corner again. Koffenberg behind the net. He will clear the zone. Louis Junker on the forecheck. St. Paul sends it in, no icing. Koffenberg sends it around to Cash Junker. Cash Junker skates it into the zone. Tried to make a move, lost control of the puck. St. Paul sends it back in. Koffenberg in the corner again, battling for the puck. Voxlin helping out. St. Paul sends it behind the net. Austin Voxlin passes it over to Cash Junker, he's trying to clear the puck. St. Paul holds, fires it wide. Stillwater's able to skate it out of the zone. We've got Kep skates it into the zone. His shot wide. Bonin with a backhand shot. That goes wide. Kep in the corner. Kep and Cash Junker. Cash has the puck. Skating around into the other corner. Centering pass for Kep. His shot just wide. Cash with the puck in the corner. Centering pass again, right on the skates of Kep. Dylan Johnson pinches. St. Paul's able to clear the zone. They'll send it in behind the net. Dylan Johnson sends it up for Bonin. We've got Kep skating it up. Sorry, not Kep. Braden Smith. Braden Smith skates it into the zone. He's taken down behind the net. Around the near boards, St. Paul's able to clear the zone. They send it across ice. And we've got a wide angle shot. And Stillwater had a goalie change. Saved by Rye. 2:11 left in the second period. Stillwater leads 2-1. St. Paul with a shot on the near side, saved by Rye. Stillwater is able to skate it out of the zone. This is Parker Taylor skating it into the zone. Wesson Linnell with the puck now. He'll take a shot, deflected, goes wide. Parker Taylor on the forecheck and along the near boards. Declan O'Shea holds it in. His shot goes wide. St. Paul clears. Stillwater tags up. Declan O'Shea skates it into the zone, into the corner. His centering pass is deflected into the other corner. We'll have Wesson Linnell with the puck. His centering pass back to Declan O'Shea. His shot was tipped. St. Paul's able to clear the zone. Declan O'Shea to retrieve the puck. Passes it up to Ty Sirianni. Sirianni up to Wesson Linnell. Just off the stick of Wesson Linnell. Austin Boxland with the puck. Oh, St. Paul steals it. Parker Taylor into the corner here. We've got Boxland. Behind the net. Boxland was there to intercept the St. Paul player. Parker Taylor out to the point. St. Paul on the near side, they'll send it out. Parker Taylor is able to clear the zone. Weston Linnell on the forecheck. Ty Sirianni to help. St. Paul is able to bring it into the zone. A shot. Glove save by Rye. And we'll have a whistle. 22 seconds left in the second period. Braden Smith battling for the puck along the near boards. He's able to clear it, but this is not going to be icing. Icing's waved off. Keegan Smith on the forecheck in the corner. St. Paul clears the zone, but that's the end of the second period. Stillwater leads 2-1. Shots on goal are 18 for Stillwater, 13 for St. Paul Blue.
I know you guys are really excited.
All right, starting the third period. I think we've got the same line again. Braden Smith, Koffenberg on D, Louis Junker, Sonic, and Keegan Smith. St. Paul sends it in. Braden Smith gets tripped up in the corner. St. Paul shot from the point is deflected. Louis Junker not quite able to clear the puck. Shot. St. Paul with a scoring chance. Their shot goes wide. Braden Smith clears the zone. Braden Smith with the puck. He'll skate it in. Makes a move. He's skating along the blue line here. Skates it down low now. He'll take a shot that is wide of the net. Koffenberg pinches, sends it back into the corner. Keegan Smith, his centering pass is tipped behind the net. St. Paul skates it out of the zone. He skates it into the Stillwater zone. A shot and a tip by St. Paul goes wide of the net. Back to the point for St. Paul. Backhand shot is saved by Rye and covered. We'll have a face-off in the defensive zone. Jacob Kep takes the face-off. O'Shea sends it around. Intercepted by St. Paul. They'll send it into the far corner. Centering pass intercepted by Jacob Kep. He'll skate it out of the zone. Long shot is wide of the net. Bonin on the near board. He's got the puck, skates it in. His shot is saved and covered by St. Paul. Jacob Kep wins the face-off back to Declan O'Shea. His shot initially saved. Bonin tripped up in the hash marks, or tripped up in the crease. Kep with a wraparound attempt, still banging away. St. Paul comes up with it. They'll skate it out of the zone. Scoring chance by St. Paul. The rebound goes wide. We've got Dylan Johnson skating it up. He will send it deep. Dylan Johnson on the forecheck. Weston Linnell with the puck at center ice. Loses the handle on it. O'Shea over to help. Sirianni. Linnell passes it up to Bonin. Bonin has it knocked off his stick along the far boards. Bonin with the puck again. Bonin forechecking. St. Paul sends it around. Koffenberg holds the line. Sends it back deep. Ty Sirianni on the forecheck. Weston Linnell helping out on the near boards. St. Paul's able to clear the zone. Parker Taylor to retrieve the puck. Pass over to Austin Voxlin, up the boards to Weston Linnell. Tied up. Voxlin tips it forward. Voxlin battling for the puck. He's got it on his stick, trying to clear the zone. Voxlin will take it behind the net. Pass up the boards to Sirianni. Sirianni and Linnell are able to clear the puck. St. Paul sends it back into the corner. Centering pass intercepted by Weston Linnell. He loses the puck along the near boards. Koffenberg in the corner. He'll send it back to the far boards. Parker Taylor with the puck. His breakout pass to Weston Linnell. Just a little bit off the mark. Sirianni battling for it on the near boards now. St. Paul dumps it in. Dylan Johnson with the puck. He'll skate it behind the net. Dylan Johnson passes it. Koffenberg on the forecheck. St. Paul brings it back. St. Paul brings it into the zone behind the net. Dylan. Middle. Keegan Smith passes it up to Sonic. He's tripped up. Keegan Smith battling for the puck. St. Paul brings it back in. Shots wide. Braden Smith with the puck. Has a knockback into the corner. Dylan Johnson and Braden Smith fighting for the puck. Centering pass over to Keegan Smith. Keegan Smith up to Louis Junker. Center ice. Louis Junker will skate it in. He'll take a shot. That is wide. Braden Smith able to hold the zone. Louis Junker. Sonic with the puck now on the far boards. He'll send it back deep. Keegan Smith behind the net. Centering pass for Louis Junker. St. Paul brings it back out. Braden Smith poke checks it away. He'll skate it back up. Braden Smith skating it into the zone. His shot goes wide.
What age group is this? Pee-wee, okay. Pee-wee what? 8?
B2.
Okay, awesome.
Gus Bona with the puck at center ice. He'll skate it into the zone. Couldn't quite get a shot off. Has it tipped off his stick. St. Paul clears. Austin Boxland with the puck now at center ice. He'll dump it in deep. Cash Junker intercepts the breakout pass. St. Paul clears the zone. Jacob Kep. His pass is intercepted. St. Paul back at the point. Shot from the point. Saved. Rebound attempt. Second shot goes wide. St. Paul pinches. Rye's able to cover that one. We'll have another whistle. 5:01 left in the third period. Stillwater leads 2-1. Shot from the point is blocked. Another shot goes wide. St. Paul with another shot on the weak side. On the far side, anyway. Dylan Johnson battling behind the net. Rye is able to cover. We'll have another whistle. Little scuffle on the side of the net, but no penalties called. Shot from the point was deflected and makes its way to the back of the Stillwater net. Unfortunately, St. Paul ties it up 2-2. 4:38 left in the third period. Louis Junker with the puck off the faceoff into the zone. St. Paul's able to clear. Koffenberg back to retrieve the puck. Koffenberg in the corner. Sends it up the near boards to Keegan Smith. Keegan Smith. Breakout pass to Louis Junker. Stillwater clears the zone, but St. Paul is able to dump it back in. Dylan Johnson with the puck in the corner. Stops behind the net. has it knocked off his stick. Johnson had the puck in his skates. He has the puck now. Dylan Johnson passes it up to Louis Junker. Louis Junker skates it in. He'll take a long shot from the blue line. That's deflected. St. Paul's able to clear the zone. Braden Smith with the puck now. Over to O'Shea. O'Shea passes it up to Louis Junker. Louis Junker skates it in. Another shot. Save. St. Paul has the puck. Braden Smith pinches. He's able to hold the zone. But St. Paul has the puck. They're able to skate it out. Declan O'Shea able to stop the St. Paul player, but play's not over here. St. Paul right back at it. Brings it into the zone. Cash Junker with the puck now. He'll skate it into the zone. Down into the corner. Backhand shot on the near side is saved and covered by St. Paul. 2:56 left in the third period. Score is tied 2-2. Stillwater wins the face-off. Kep's got the puck, takes a quick shot. Is deflected by a player up into the net, so we will have, the netting. And so we'll have a whistle. Stillwater wins the face-off. Back to Braden Smith. His shot is deflected by St. Paul. They're skating it up the near boards into the zone. Centering pass is blocked by Cash. Cash Junker with the puck. He tries to clear. Kept in by St. Paul. Shot was deflected wide of the net. Over to Bonin. Stillwater not able to clear. Finally clears the zone. Bonin on the forecheck. Kep sends it down the ice. Weston Linnell back to retrieve the puck. His pass up to Cash Junker in his skates. Braden Smith with the puck. But St. Paul gains control. They'll send it into the far corner. Austin Boxland to retrieve the puck. He'll send it up the boards, but that is blocked by the referee. Up to Gus Bonin. He'll clear the zone. Weston Linnell battling for it at center ice. He's able to dump it into the corner, chases after it. St. Paul has it behind the net. Parker Taylor intercepts the breakout pass. He's tripped up, battling for it in the corner. Weston Linnell with the shot from the boards. And that is saved and covered by St. Paul. 1:18 left in the third period. Score is 2-2. Weston Linnell on the face-off. Koffenberg able to hold it in temporarily. Tried to send it down deep, was intercepted by St. Paul. Koffenberg with a slap shot from the point. Didn't quite get all of it on there. Parker Taylor battling for it. He'll send it into the corner. 57 seconds left in the third period. Austin Boxland pinches. He holds his own. Parker Taylor with the attempted shot comes off his stick. St. Paul skates it out of the zone. They'll dump it in. Koffenberg back to retrieve the puck. Passes it back to Boxland. He tries to clear. Not quite. Boxland with the puck again. He'll skate it out of the zone and dump it in. 25 seconds left in the game. Ty Sirianni on the forecheck in the corner. He sends it behind the net. Weston Linnell, Ty Sirianni in the corner. 13 seconds left in the game. Stillwater not able to clear. Koffenberg holds it in. Shot from the point. Just over the top of the net. Stillwater holds it in. 2 seconds. 1 second. Final score 2-2. Stillwater versus St. Paul Blue. Shots on goal were 27 for Stillwater and 20 for St. Paul Blue. Again, the final score 2-2. All right, that's it, folks. 2-2 final score. Stillwater versus St. Paul Blue.